on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. It's April 2nd, 4:32 p.m., 2025. And I've got my second ever sales call in 30 minutes from now. And to be honest, and I'm just going to be straight up because hopefully this is the kind of shit that will help somebody someday. But I wanted to cancel it. I wanted to either reschedule. I wanted to push it off. I straight up, I got home from work and I've just been laying here. I'm very tired. I just been going to bed really late and I need to get that under control for sure. I think that's a big problem of mine, is just not sleeping well. Not necessarily the duration or the time or whatever. It's just I'm not sleeping well. And I would say that that's because of only sleeping, 5 to 6 hours every night. But actually sleeping, if I go to bed at 10:30, wake up at 3:30-ish, that's 5.5 hours, but whatever. That's 5 hours. What the hell? But, so I got home and I just sat down for a second and I thought, dude, I really don't want to do this call. And so I actually took about a 30-minute power nap and I feel better for sure. But part of me I was just so cozy and I didn't want to do the call. I didn't want to have to. I was tempted to text the guy and say, hey, man, so sorry. Some stuff came up. We're going to have to reschedule to tomorrow. And then I thought, well, I can't do it tomorrow. And then I thought, I can't really do it Friday. And then I thought, okay, well, Saturday, it's hit or miss, I feel like. So maybe not then. Sunday could work. And Monday could work. But I'm not going to push it off. Why would I push it off? That's stupid. He's scheduled a call, no problem, And truthfully, it's, why do I want to cancel it? I think it's just because I don't want to have to face this fear again. I don't want to have to, get out of my comfort zone again. And I know that's dumb because in order to go where I want to go, this is the path that I have to follow. So this feeling that I have is the feeling I feel like I need to have majority of the time, because this feeling means I'm in uncharted territory, doing things that I've never done before and doing things that scare me, or at least make me so uncomfortable that it requires me to learn rapidly in the moment. And I just don't want to do that. And if I don't want to do that, how can I ever expect to get anything out of life? If I can't get uncomfortable and do shit that I don't want to do, how can I ever expect to do anything? So that being said, I got up and I thought, we got this. It's okay. You can just tell me no right in the face. It's fine. It's just repetition. It's practice. It's okay. It's just practice. It's practice for the real thing. And, as I say that, I'm hearing Lexi's words echo, because if you remember on episode 427, 427B, I think that's a sales call, 427A, I think, or maybe 427C, whatever. One of those three talked about what Lexi told me. She says, no, this isn't practice. This isn't whatever. This is the game. So get your game face on. You think about it that way. I can't remember exactly what she said, but yeah. So I still believe that 100%. I just think about other things that I've heard where it's like, stop thinking about things as, the final battle or whatever and the end all be all. Think of it as just the thing that's going to prepare you for the next one. So you can call that practice. You can call that any kind of just preparation or some kind of, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. And so what I did actually was I went and listened to my first ever sales call, and it's the first time I listened to it actually. And I skimmed through it. I just wanted to hear how I presented the price, hear how I overcame objections, things like that. And so I listened to it today. By the way, the call is in 23 minutes from now. So I don't know if I'm going to record up until then, but yeah, I got 23 minutes, so I'm fine. And who knows, this guy he could bail out, he could cancel, whatever. He could say, hey, not going to work. But at least I know that I showed up, and that would feel good in my heart, knowing that I didn't bail. We wanted to, but he bailed, and that's out of my control, So anyway, listen to that episode. So if you want to hear it, it's 427B, my first ever sales call. At the time of this recording, it only has 7 listens, and a listen or a stream is at least 60 seconds of the podcast listened to, which is funny because 427 and 427C, they both have 9 listens, but 427B, which is the sales call, it only has 7. So there's only 7 people in the entire world who have heard this sales call, which I think is funny. But and then what was I gonna say? Okay, so when I'm listening to these sales calls that Mina sent me, because he sent me some of his where he sold every single person, and I'm listening to his. Oh fuck! I lost it again. What was it? Oh, I'm listening to his, and there's a sense of vulnerability in these people that he's talking to, and it makes me feel like I shouldn't be listening to those, because it's another person talking about their weight struggles or their goals and their insecurities or whatever. Nothing crazy. It's just, like that person, I don't know. It kind of makes you feel kind of bad. That person probably thought that no one else would ever hear what they said to Mina, but I mean, it's all for educational purposes. It's in the right hands. It's to help me get better. It's to help me get better so I can help other people. So when you look at it through that lens of what's the intent, I think it's a beautiful thing. But it does make me feel kind of like I need to turn it off, But again, with the intent in mind, with the frame of the intent, I actually really like what I just said. If the intent is for me to learn to get better, and that in turn lets me help more people, then this is nothing but a great thing that I heard everything. So anyway, kind of makes you want to blur out a lot of info or, not say names, things like that. I don't know. It's just a whole different thing because 531 episodes deep. I've only had this happen once. So today will be a second time, hopefully, if he doesn't bail. But anyway, so I listened to the episode and I'm listening to how I'm speaking and I'm listening to how the client was responding. So this is the guy that couldn't afford it, but did a $100 deposit. I discounted the first month so that the entire first month was $100, and then he would just pay the remaining on the second month. Then he ghosted me, said he was just going through stuff, and then just continued to ghost me and ghost me and ghost me, leave me on red. And it is what it is. Part of me is mad. It's like, there's proof that you need this program. Part of me was like, dude, I could have done so much better, But I don't know, man. I'm just adjusting this thing. I think his birthday's coming up, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. I kind of want to figure out when that is. I think it's in June. Let's go to June real quick. It is in June. Okay, there it is. Well, anyway, I definitely going to wish him a happy birthday. But anyway, so I'm listening to it. I was listening to that episode, and already there were so many things that I heard that I don't like, dude. I don't like that I said it that way. I don't like that I had that tonality. I felt like I was talking very quickly. I don't like that. And I just got to slow it down. And so now that I have done, so that was December 27th. And so now that we are in April, we have January, February, March. That's 3 months in a week. So about 13, I think actually 14 weeks. Siri, how many weeks ago was December 20? Hey Siri, how many weeks ago was December 27th, 2024?
It was 13 weeks and 5 days ago.
Okay, so we'll round up to 14. So 14 weeks ago, I've done Blade 1, and I've been on that shit for at least 30 days. So there's 30 role plays. And between December and I think the end of January, I think that's when I was doing more. So we'll just say total another 20, we'll just say. So maybe, I don't know, 14 weeks times 7, that is 98. So if I have 98 days between that, I probably role played 50 of those. Because I know I took a break in between there because I kept failing Blade 1. That's 50 more role plays, more reps that I have with this whole sales process. And each time that I've done it, I've improved the script or changed how I said something or something like that. And so with that being said, I do feel much better in that regard. And even learning from Mina, because he sent me 6 voice memos that he has from talking to people. So I can just pull this up real quick. Like, listen to this.
every 2 weeks, we have a progress review. Okay.
And then you just fast forward.
You can ask me anyway. Do you have?
I think.
So these are just sales calls, exactly what I had. However, every single one of them, there's a couple objections, a couple of payment objections, but it's crazy because I think these 6 calls, I almost say correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know how you're going to do that, Mr. or Mrs. Listener, unless you're Mina. But I think all 6 of these calls were in one day, and I think that's the day he made $10,000 in one day, and I just think that's insane. Am I Dr. Seuss again? So it's crazy because I listened to it, and there's no hesitation. There's no, holy shit, $2,100? What the fuck? None of that. Now, if somebody were to tell me that, I would say, what? For a fitness program? And, well, I guess if I'm thinking about this objectively, I don't think I would say that. In the past, maybe, but now, no, because I know how much time and effort goes into running one of these things, especially Mina, dude. That's crazy. You know, he's got a whole team. This whole team caters to the clients in a good way. I mean, that we serve, acknowledge, value, all this stuff, all the clients. So he runs a great show, and he even says that he charges too little. And whether I agree or disagree, I think that's so cool that he feels that way, that so confident that he says, yeah, we're for sure charging too little. We could charge more. I think that's cool to feel so confident. But anyway, there's no resistance. I mean, there's a little bit, but it's just like, oh, can I, instead of paying in full, can I do monthly? And then, yeah. So I'm curious why that is, because I'm listening to the call and there's nothing that's like, oh, that's what he's doing. But one thing that I did notice is that he says the client's name more often than not. It's not like every sentence, Bob, that, you know, Bob, I say the person's name, Bob, you know what I mean, Bob? It's nothing like that. But he does say the name. He does slow his speech down. And maybe that's the biggest thing I can take away from listening to these, is that he talks not slow, but for the majority of the call, he's talking about this speed. And when he's talking with this speed, his tonality fluctuates just like this, so that sometimes we can really make progress and other times not so much. So that's kind of how he fluctuates. So took a note of that. And when I was listening to mine, I felt like I was rushing. I think I said a lot of jokes that didn't land. And listening to it again, I'm like, oh my fuck, dude, that's so cringy. But part of me has not wanted to go back and listen to that call because I didn't want to listen to myself embarrass myself, But the truth is, that was my first call ever, first one ever. Not like first one this year, first one, second time doing, first one ever in my entire life. So I got to give myself grace there, but it is what it is. So the second one, with 3 months in between, I've learned a lot more. So I hope to implement what I've learned. I mean, my script is much different. I mean, it's the same core, but things are a little bit different. Things are a little moved around, and the verbiage has changed a little bit. So anyway, so right now I'm not feeling nervous at all. I feel very confident. I'm just, I just listen to this. So if I click on this, no, not that.
Hey, Katie, how are you? It's Coach Mina.
Hi. Good. How are you?
I am good. Are you good to talk for a little bit?
Yeah, sure can.
Okay, awesome. I feel like we're going to have quite a lot to cover. Is it okay if we just jump right into things?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So that's how it starts. He's in 35 seconds into the call, into this voice memo. He's already talking. He's already on the script. So the next one.
A lot to cover. Yes, can you hear me?
Great phone.
Can you hear me right now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can.
Perfect. Awesome. I feel like we're going to have a lot to cover. Is it okay if we just jump right into things?
Yes, 100%.
Perfect. Cool. So, Monica,
33 seconds in, already into the script. So I feel like last time I just bullshitted a little bit too long. Let's go to this one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go for it. Whatever you want. I'm done.
Okay, that one, I think it skipped that part. Anyway, the point is, I'm already overthinking the intro. Like, what do I say? I don't know this guy. And I think it's even better that I don't know this guy. So, I mean, what's crazy is this guy here, he... Okay, I'm going to share this thought because it just came to mind. I'm freaking out over all these calls individually. Me and it takes probably like 10 a day. You know, I feel like in the future, I'm not going to even want to record all these. I will, because one of the biggest things I want to record here. I'm not going to want to record all these because it's the same shit, you know, and I just, record everything. I don't know, just more shit to do. But I guess at that point, if I have 10 calls a day, probably making some money, so I could probably outsource all this stuff. But anyway, with this guy, he just reached out of the blue, and because he saw my Facebook cover photo and it says DM me complete, and I'll reach out to see if I can help you out. He sends me the word complete. So I reach out a day later and I say, hey, what's up, dude? Thanks so much for reaching out. And, you know, where are you currently? Let's actually read word for word here. See, I'll be honest. Now the nerves are kicking in because we got 10 minutes. So I don't know anything about this guy, which makes me feel like, truthfully, it makes me feel like this is not going to go well because I don't know anything. But that's what the call's for, I guess. But I said, what's up? I see you came across the cover image. Tell me a bit about what you're trying to accomplish. Appreciate you reaching out. And he says, I need help with my diet, man. I have some health concerns. I'm getting old. I said, I hear you, man. Hopefully the health concerns aren't super major. How old are you? He says, 29. I really need to do better with it. I could easily cut 30 pounds. Do you do diet stuff or just focus mainly on workouts? And then he sent me his phone number. It looks like a phone number to me. So I don't know. I would never do that. But I said 30 pounds is a super doable goal, bro. And I do all the above, my man. Workouts, nutrition, daily and weekly accountability, mental toughness building, all that. He says, nice. So what does pricing and packages look like? I said, pricing depends solely on how much help you actually need, man. I definitely don't charge $30 to $50 a day session like in-person trainers, though, so don't worry about that. If you're up for it, dude, I can give you a quick call tomorrow and go over the entire program, the pricing, what you get, and what I'm committing to helping you achieve. Would that help? He says, sounds good. I'm available after 3. I said, perfect. I'm out on my computer. Otherwise, I'd send you a booking link, but I'll definitely shoot you a message to confirm. Should be good at around 4 o'clock. Arrange myself. He says, that works. I said, perfect, dude. Let's see if we can make a game plan tomorrow. I got your back, bro. Chat then. Now, nothing happened. So there's no call because he didn't message me back. And so yesterday I said, what's up, man? Here's the link. And then I sent him the link to book the call. I said, I'm going to send you one more thing that'll help me best to help you out. Take care of this. And I'll send it over. No response. And I said, got the booking on my, and then I said, did you see? Oh, then he liked it. He took care of it. And I said, got the booking on my side. Awesome, bro. Here's the application form. Didn't respond. So I said, hey, good morning. This is today. Have you seen this yet? No, this is yesterday. I'm sorry. Have you seen this yet? And then he just gave a thumbs up and then he filled it out. So now I have his application form. And I said, thank you for taking care of that so quick, dude. I'll give you a ring at 5. And we're 9 minutes out from that. I have not heard one thing back from him. My calendar booking thing sends reminders. So he knows, at least I would hope, that it's coming up because he should have gotten a reminder at 10 minutes, which was a minute ago, and then an hour, and then a day. So a day, hour, 10 minutes. So if I look my bookings here, yeah, so it's 5 o'clock today, April 2nd. So, yeah, I mean, we got it. The call's going to happen right now, but I've not heard anything back from him. And the reason why I share all that is because I don't have anything to go off of other than he has health concerns and he wants to cut 30 pounds. But I do have his form, his application form, and so that's very helpful. But I guess not in the way that you might think. So very loose goals here. But at the very end, it says, how committed are you to achieving these goals? He says 4 out of 5. And then the option he chose was, I'm committed, ready to go, but I have a lot to learn. And then there's a question. It's a big one. It says, are you prepared to financially invest in your physical health, mental health, and overall well-being and self-development as a man? He clicked yes. But here's the thing. I don't know if what he saw on my Facebook was when I was advertising the $50 a month. Well, I didn't say that. I said less than $2 a day, which is true if you do $50 a month. So to ensure that this makes sense for me, because I truthfully, I need the testimonials, I need the reviews, but as soon as one person gets in the program that is not paying $50 a month is the time where I can't just publicly announce I'm going to charge only $50 a month. Imagine you sign up for a program that's $250 a month, and then the next day, the coach that you hired says, "Hey, I'm running the program for $50 a month." What would you think? You think, "Oh, dude, I got fucked. It's only $50 a month. Why am I paying so much?" At least that's what I would think. Maybe you're different, but so the moment that I get someone in the program at full price is, I think I can't do that anymore, or at least privately, I can't publicly announce that. So anyway, if that's the case, so I'm going to pitch him on actually change my pricing up a little bit. And the duration. So I went from 4 months to 6 months because you can use Affirm and Klarna, whatever it is. You can use those things to split the paid in full amount into installments, but I would still receive the paid in full, which is pretty cool. So for example, if the program is $1,500 for 6 months, which is $250 a month, which is exactly what I charge now, which is paid in full, they can take care of that with Affirm. I get the payout in full today, but they take care of it in installments. So that's kind of the idea. So the way that Mina does it is he presents the full price, paid in full, says that he's running a summer sale, which makes sense because it's summer. It's cool. Just a great way to price anchor. And then, first of all, he does the in-person training, says the cost, and then he says, "Okay, we're going to do paid in full, but since it's summer, we're going to be running this price," and then goes from there and discounts it 30%, which brings it down to $2,100. And when these people hear that, they're like, "Oh yeah, I can do that." And then they're like, "Oh, but wait, can I do it monthly?" So I think it's just a double price anchor, because he's saying $6,000 for in-person training for 6 months, which I guess depending on where you go, it could be that, but how I'm calculating, it's about $3,000 to $4,000. Anyway, for me to say that and then say my program's $2,000, because that would be 6 months at $333, and then 25% off of that would bring it down to $1,500. Divide that by 6, be $250, and then to say $250, I feel like that's so much more digestible. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pitch him on the 6-month program, paid in full, and not trying to be pessimistic. I'm going to assume that he says no, so that I say, "Oh, no worries, dude. Would it be easier if we split that up?" And then he's going to say, "Oh, yeah." And I'm going to say, "Okay, we can do it 6 payments. You can do this, blah, 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 interest-free. You can do this, whatever." If that doesn't work, I've got another payment set up. But with Affirm, I just get the whole paid in full. And, yeah. So that's that. So my nerves straight up are actually getting me. I probably should have gotten all this set up a little bit better. So let me pull up the script. Okay, let's see here. So I got the script pulled up. What do I even need to have pulled up right now? I need to have the script pulled up. Gotta document everything here, dude. I straight up need to shit my pants because my nerves, bro. I'm nervous. Why am I nervous? It's probably because I'm not prepared, in the words of Alex. So, before I forget, actually, I'm going to unplug my mic so that I don't have to worry about the audio being ass. Hold on. Hello? There we go. All right, cool. Okay, well, here goes nothing. But I'm just pulling up his application, and I'm pulling up the script. I don't need this open, so what am I doing here? What do I need pulled up right now? I need Stripe pulled up. That's pulled up here. Okay. I'm about to call him. I just want to make sure I'm prepared. Don't need these. Okay, script. All right, here goes nothing. His name is Zach. Here we go. Oh no, dude.
Hello, this is Zach. I'm sorry I missed your call. Leave your name, number, and I'll give you a call back when I get a moment.
Oh no. Okay, we gotta call him back. Hopefully he's busy, or
Leave your name, number, and I'll give you a call back when I get a moment.
bummer, dude. All that for nothing, dude. So what do I do now? Just missed. Sorry, I just paused for no reason. Just missed ya. Just missed ya. He sent me a text that says just missed ya. Did he just call me? And then we called at the same time? Did you call me at the same time? I got your voicemail both times. All right, well, it's an interesting start. Now I'm just... Called him twice. He says, just missed ya. Let's see what he said. He laughed at that text. Okay. Typing. Where are we at, dude? Where are we at? He's typing. Crack supplements just liked my reel. Appreciate you. All right, here we go, guys. He's calling me back. Okay, here we go. Hello?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, dude? Did you call me the same time I called you?
I tried calling you back right away, and it just hit your voicemail.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I called you twice, second time straight to voicemail. So I thought, is this guy about to ghost me? You know?
The second time, I think we probably called each other at the same time. So.
Oh, that's funny, dude. Do you go by Zach, or do you go? What do you go by?
Oh, either or, man. Usually just Zach, but
Zach,
I don't really care.
Cool. Well, hey, dude, I don't want to waste your time. I feel like we have quite a bit to go over. So is it cool if we just dive in? Is that all right with you?
That is good, man. And you'll probably hear my wife got pretty sick, and so I'm with the kiddos. One's sleeping, but I got a 3-year-old up, so you might hear some commotion in the background. But yeah, we can jump into it.
Okay. You have a 3-year-old? That's how old are you again? You're 29?
So I'm 29. Yeah, we got a 3-year-old and an 18-month-old.
Oh, dude, that's so cool. Congrats. Yeah, I can't wait to be a dad myself. Anytime somebody around my age says that they're a dad, part of me is like, dang, I'm jealous, dude, you know?
I feel that. How old are you?
I'm 27, about to be 28. So
there you go, man.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's in the talks with the girlfriend, so we'll see what happens. But
there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
So anyway, dude, thanks for taking time out of your day to make this happen. You took care of the booking really quick, so appreciate that. Some people drag their feet, so I appreciate that. But anyway, so just so you have an idea of what this call goes over, I just want to figure out what your goals are, your struggles. I know you mentioned on the forum that 30 pounds roughly is about what you're trying to do. So we'll go over that, and then we'll just kind of talk over some strategies to get you there. But before I move on, does all that make sense? Is that clear, kind of what this call is about?
Yes, sir. Yeah, sounds good, man.
Cool. So we'll just go over the program, what it's about, what you get, the price, everything, just so you have an idea. And at the very end of this call, I'll let you know whether or not I can help, if I think I can, at least, if I think it's a good fit. And then I'll extend the invite, and I either want a hell yes or a hell no, and then we'll just go from there. Sound good?
That sounds good, man.
Cool. So first things first, dude, just tell me a little bit about what you're trying to accomplish in the next 6 months or so. As far as fitness goes, I should say.
Yeah, no, just dropping that weight. I think I'm back to a point where I can start training again for some races. I started running a lot more last year.
Okay.
I did a couple half marathons, and then I have gout, if you're familiar with what that is.
Yeah, a couple family members of mine have that as well. Yeah.
It's the worst, man. It sucks. So high uric acid levels.
Okay.
Comes from like a high protein diet. Unfortunately, lots of meats have those purines in them, and when you get too much of that in your blood, your kidneys and liver can't flush them out, and so they crystallize on your joints, and it hurts like hell, really bad.
Dang, dude. Okay, I actually did not know that part. I didn't know that it came from a high protein diet. That's crazy, dude. Okay.
Yeah, well, you say high proteins. It's not necessarily the proteins that do it, but a lot of things like fish, red meat, all those things are
just loaded with that.
Yeah. So
Dang,
it's
okay.
like, so I was just talking with my practitioner trying to figure out ways to tweak the diet. The other thing that doesn't help is I'm a sales rep, so lots of.
You're on your feet a lot.
Yeah, well, not necessarily. I mean, I am on my feet a lot, but lots of just fast food, lots of crap food. Right, if you're on the road, I drive everywhere, dude. So that's not good either. Then my cholesterol's a little high. I just got all my blood work done. But so sorry, long-winded answer, short answer. I want to be able to get back on my feet and do at least a half marathon by the end of this year, and then maybe do a full or two next year.
Yeah.
And then, in the meanwhile, just drop the weight and stay healthy. So,
And you said you want to drop 30 pounds. Is that still accurate? Is that ballpark, or is that like you need to make 30 pounds?
No, that's ballpark, man. I'm sitting 225. Not awful, but I could probably get down to like a comfortable 200 and still have the same strength that I do. So 30 pounds, that would probably be a good spot, I was thinking. But
Okay, cool. So drop the 30 pounds. Get back on your feet for the half marathon. You said half marathon and a full marathon this year?
Well, this year just a half because
Gotcha.
I'm hoping my ankle will hold up, but whole next year if all goes well.
Okay. Well, right on, dude. And just so I understand, so the gout, where is that at for you? Is that your foot?
Yeah, man. So gout will usually be a little bit further away from your heart because of poor areas where circulation is weaker when it gets colder, and that's why gout flares up in the wintertime. When it gets colder, those purines will like turn into crystals on your joints. So I have it in my right toe and then my left ankle. Really
Okay.
bad.
When you explain it that way, dude, that sounds horrible. I'm so sorry that you have that.
It's all good. Thanks, man. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
So as far as losing the weight and stuff like that and all what we're talking about, what are you doing now to get closer to the 30 pounds off?
So I've been focusing more on fitness, and it sucked where I couldn't do much on my feet. So I still did like some strength training. I was trying to get it in at least 3 to 4 times a week. But I've transitioned to more of like a kind of like, what do they call that in the industry? Dude, you would know, like functional
workouts,
functional bodybuilding, whatever the freak you want to call it.
Yeah, a lot of real life movements rather than just bench presses and stuff.
Yeah, and I still will do those bigger weights, but I dislocated my shoulder 3 times back in the day when I used to try to bench all that. So,
oh man, dude.
I don't push a ton that way, but so I just tried working out. I tried tweaking my diet, and that's the weakest part, dude, is my freaking diet. It's awful. So,
would you say your diet's the weakest just because of the whole gout situation? You just want to eat the right way for that, or is it not even related to that?
Yeah, I mean that, but dude, I just feel like you can't outrun a bad diet. So I feel
Yeah, you sent me that message, and I was like, dude, at least you understand that. You know, a lot of people don't get that.
Yeah, so I was like, a lot of it is just weak accountability because for my job, man, I cover like a territory. Mm-hmm. My territory is probably like a fourth the state of Utah. So I cover like North Salt Lake down to like West Jordan and everything west all the way out to Wendover.
Dude, way cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I'm out and about. I'm in people's businesses selling stuff, which is super cool.
Yeah, cool.
What was I going with that, dude? I swear I was going. With my diet. And so I let my diet slip, man. So I'm always out. And so if I don't like meal prep, my diet is absolute garbage.
Yeah, dude, I'm the same way. If I don't have any kind of, so usually what I do is I meal prep every other Friday, and I meal prep for 2 weeks, and then if I just miss it or something like that next week, I'm like, am I even qualified to be talking about anything? Because I just get so in my head if I'm not prepared, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm with you. So cool, dude. So why, I mean, aside from obvious reasons of losing the weight and feeling better, like why is it so important that we lose this weight right now? Is it just to feel better? Is it just the accountability? What is it for you?
Well, the most important thing, top priority is long-term health. I'm on medicine right now to reduce the uric acid levels in my blood. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to get to a point where it's getting lower and lower. We're going to get to a point where we're going to have to maintain that with a better diet. So initially it's going to be my health. I want to be able to shed the weight and keep it off, be around. My dad was never able to like do stuff with me because he's always had bad health. So it's always been top of mind for me. To make sure I have better health. So that's like my main driver. Now there's other things, man. We're going to Costa Rica here at the end of May. We're going to the Bahamas in August.
Dude, very cool.
I want to like, be in shape for those two. And there's like little things like that, but realistically it's more of like, I need to make a lifestyle pivot. So
yeah, absolutely. When are you going to the Bahamas and Costa Rica? Is that one trip or is that two separate ones?
No, two separate trips. We're doing Costa Rica at the end of May, very last week of May, and then we're doing. So the Bahamas is actually a sales trip. It's for they take, I don't know if you ever heard the term President's Club, but it's like the top percentage of reps in a company.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
do so well, and they'll like take you to a trip. So that one, I think, as long as I do well through the rest of the year, I will get there in August. That's when they're going.
Okay. Yeah, I actually used to work for Young Mazda.
There you go.
And they had the Eagle, I think it was called the Eagle Club or the Eagle.
Yeah, same thing.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they had something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm familiar with that a little bit. Cool, dude.
Yeah.
And what would you say your biggest motivator is for making this happen? Because for example, you just reached out the other day, like something had to have happened, or like you just said, you need to make that lifestyle pivot. So like what was that thing for you?
I don't know why I reached out to you, dude. I don't know. Just the health stuff, man. I've seen your stuff around. I've seen your content. And if you don't mind me asking, dude, this is going to sound super weird, but I think I know your girlfriend. I forget her name. What's your girlfriend's name?
Her name's Alexis. She goes by Lexi. Maybe
not. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm crazy.
Well, she just moved here from California, so if you did know her, that'd be even crazier.
That'd be wild, dude. Maybe it was an old ex of yours, but I don't know how I came acquainted with you. It was just social media, man.
Was it?
But anyways,
X was Abby. I don't know if that rings a bell.
That's who it was. It was Abby.
Okay. Well, interesting. Okay. Well, we don't got to talk about that, but
sweet, no, we don't, man. But yeah. Anyway, so I don't know how I ended up following you on social media, how that came to be, but I've just seen your stuff around.
Well, so, I appreciate it, dude. Well, hopefully some of it's been helpful. Dude, straight up, like I really hate making videos and stuff like that. It's not me, but you just got to do it, I guess. So
yeah, you did.
One of my least favorite things.
Looks good.
Oh, thanks, dude. I appreciate it. I mean, I'm buying the nice cameras and stuff, so hopefully it pays off. Just got to keep on putting the reps. I mean, you're a sales rep, you know how it goes. So
yeah, you got it, man. Yeah. No, you're doing good. Looks good. So
cool, man. Well, I appreciate it. So as far as your diet goes, just walk me through that. I mean, we talked about the fast food and all that, but the lack of meal prep, you said you're eating out a lot. Like, what is it? Do you track your food? Do you know how much you're eating? What is that? All things nutrition, what would you say?
So I go in spurts, man. So I don't track my food like I should. Mm-hmm. Number one. I usually do pretty good with my meals. Work is awful, dude. Like today. Yeah. Today, they brought in Banbury donuts. Donuts, dude. I can dodge a lot of things, but donuts. Oh my gosh,
dude, I'm the same way. I love donuts. Yeah.
They're like these handmade. They're the best, dude. They're so freaking good.
What are they called?
It's Banbury Cross.
Okay.
They've got one in Layton up here, but the one I was at was down in Salt Lake. So.
Do you live in Layton?
No, I'm up in North Ogden.
Oh, okay. Because I live in Layton, so I was like, dude, are we neighbors? That's crazy.
That'd be wild. No, I'm up in North Ogden.
So they bring in a lot of food, and is it the temptation, or is it? Do you feel like you have no self-control?
Yeah, dude. I always joke about that with people. It's like it's not the people are like, well, you can just have one. I'm like, yeah, it's not the first one, man. It's the 7 that come after. But
exactly,
not really. But you hear what I'm saying. So yeah. Usually it's just that self-control aspect. They've got snacks everywhere. Like literally at my desk, he has this thing full of meat sticks and beef jerky and candy bars and like all this stuff. I'm like,
well, the beef jerky is not the worst, but it's better than a donut.
It's like, it's like 80 calories. It's got some protein, but yeah.
Okay, cool. Dang, dude, that is tough. I mean, the easiest way to get around that is to just like get a different job to where you don't have that. But obviously, that's not realistic. You know what I mean? Like, it's easier to remove the cookies from the shelf before you the night before, and then the next day you don't even see them, you don't even think about it, but
sure, yeah,
definitely can't do that. So I totally understand where you're coming from with that, dude. That's frustrating. But are you an alcohol drinker at all?
No.
Okay.
At least so no, that's not an issue.
Okay, you're probably not a smoker then either.
No.
Okay, cool, dude. Well, these are both bad habits, so I wouldn't recommend it. So good for you.
Sweet.
You're right on, dude.
Thanks, man.
So going back to your goals, so 30 pounds, you just the accountability with eating and everything that encompasses all that, and then I guess treating the gout as well, making sure that you're not in pain. Why is that so important? Like, why is that the important thing for you right now? I mean, again, I know we kind of went over the how your dad was, you said he had bad health and he wasn't able to do a lot. Is that, I just want to make sure I understood that correctly.
Just general bad health. Yeah. And then when I was younger, he was overweight, had to get a bunch of surgeries, knee replacements ever since I was just, an infant, as old as my son was. So,
dang, dude. Does that kind of put some fear in you to not want to be the same thing for your kids?
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Yeah. That's what goes through my head. I don't know. Like I got some family that's just not doing well, and I'm like, I wish we could just, go play basketball or something, but just can't do that, dude. So that kind of sucks. But anyway, so why do you think now is the time to make a change and not 2 months ago or 3 months ago, or why not a year later? Why right now?
Well, I mean, 2 months ago would have been sick. 2 months ago would have been the best.
Yeah.
But why not right now?
That's a good point, dude.
Time to know.
Yeah.
So.
There's that old Chinese proverb, I think it is. It says, best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Second best time is today. So, yeah there you go. Yeah. Some ancient wisdom for you. Yeah. So I'm looking at your form. It says you've been putting this off, you've been struggling to make a change for 1 to 2 years. Is that the last 2 years or so you've been stuck? Is that fair to say?
Yeah. I ride the yo-yo, man. So I'll get down to 210, 215, and then put the weight back on. I was doing really good last year when I was racing.
You said you tend to yo-yo?
Yeah, have you ever heard that term?
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't know if that's what you meant, but yeah, yo-yo dieting, is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, same thing where you drop the weight and then end up putting it right back on. Not right back on, but it goes in like 6 month spurts or whatever.
So you feel like you're good at dropping weight, but then just keeping it off, that's the problem?
Yeah, when I was running, I was. Yeah, since I had to stop running, I haven't been able to drop any weight.
Yeah, so. Okay, makes sense. Is that would that be like the only cardio that you do? Like the running aspect? Because I'm just assuming with all the health concerns?
Yeah, usually, I play soccer here or there, but yeah, running is typically that was my main form of cardio. Gotcha.
Okay. So you've been putting it off you've been struggling with this for 2 years. How does that, like when you think about it, how does it make you feel to think that it's 2 years have gone by and, you could have been two years further down the road of closer to your goals, So when you think about that, how does it make you feel?
Yeah, I guess, I don't know if motivated is the right word, but yeah, just
time to get after it.
Yeah.
Makes sense, dude. Okay. And I got to ask, dude, if nothing happens again, if we lose the weight, let's just play it out. So like we lose the weight, everything's great. Then you put it back on. And then in 6 months, you're still in the same exact spot. Like what happens then? Like what are you going to do?
Well, you got to go again. You got to change the way you're doing something, but got to figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah, dude, got to pivot for sure. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I want to do a little mental exercise with you, if you don't mind. So
yeah,
I just want you to paint a picture in your head. So of the future. So just think about yourself achieving these goals. So you're able to run the half marathon, you run the marathon next year, you drop the 30 pounds, maybe even more. And you're in the best shape you've been in a long time, or maybe even the best shape of your life. So just think about that and just what does that look like for you specifically?
What do you mean?
So just think about what? Yeah, so what does that look like for you? Like what does life look like? How does it feel? Like what are you doing? Where are you going? How does it, is it colorful? Is it great? You know what I mean?
No, okay, yeah. No, I immediately just thought of crossing the finish line as the mental picture.
Dude, that's cool. That kind of gave me goosebumps, dude. That's badass. With the dramatic music.
Yeah, something like that. Dude, a little cheesy for sure. But
yeah. Dude, whatever works for you, crossing the that'd be sweet, dude. That's awesome. And how do you think it would feel to cross the finish line like that? Like, what would you, like everything's all good, drop the weight. How'd it feel?
Yeah, it felt good, man. It'd feel invigorating.
Invigorate, dude. It's a good word. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
And cool, dude. Do you think having a little bit more control on the diet and things like that would help or impact your career, relationships, things like that? Do you think it'd be better for you?
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%.
Yeah. Do you think that I had one guy on the phone the other day? We were talking because he actually works for Kia, I think.
Okay.
And I asked him the same question. I was like, because he was also in sales, obviously. So I was like, dude, if you got in shape, and he was kind of on the opposite side, he wanted to build muscle. And I said, dude, if we could get you to build the muscle and maybe not be so scrawny, do you think that, like, how do you think that would feel? And we started talking about, I'm assuming you know who Andy Elliott is.
Of course.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Then we started talking about that. And he was like, dude, I'd probably, what did he said something about passing Andy Elliott. And I just thought that was funny. So lose the weight so much you can beat up Andy Elliott, dude. There you go.
There you go, man. Those
Cool.
skin tight pants, that 6-pack, there you go.
Exactly. Yep. Dude, every time I come across those posts and I read the comments, it cracks me up. It's so funny.
They're funny, man.
Like whoever sold him those pants and they start talking about that. It's funny. Anyway, dude, the reason I even asked the whole mental image picture is because what you just thought of, the thought that crossed your mind, crossing the finish line, just feeling better, everything like that, it totally 100% possible. It's not like that's impossible. I know you know that, but it's very possible. It's 100% achievable and a lot faster than you might think. I mean, we don't have to take 2 years to do this. So, as long as you're willing to put in the work, there's no reason that you can't hit these goals. Does that kind of make sense? Like everything you said? Absolutely. Okay, cool. So now that I have a better idea of where you're trying to go, help me understand a little bit more about like why you haven't been able to accomplish these goals by yourself. Is it like what's holding you holding you back the most right now? What's the number one thing, would you say?
I think accountability.
Okay. Dude, a lot of people say that same one. It's crazy because I actually say this example a lot, but you can Google all the info in the world. You could have AI make you a workout plan, but you can't have Google or AI hold you accountable. And it's just so true. So
Yeah.
I'm 100% with you, dude. I think it's the number one thing. So I'm glad you think that as well. So let me paint another picture in your head. Okay. So rather than the all positive, happy stuff, think about the opposite. Okay. So just pretend that, we'll just say that you get off this call and you take no action. You stay in this exact same place for another 2 years, we'll say. You make no progress. How would that make you feel to know another 2 years have gone by with no change once again? Like you're still stuck.
I don't know, man. Probably just, I know this probably isn't the answer you're looking for, but man, my mentality is like, do it or find a way to do it. Mm-hmm. So I know you're looking for like consequences of not getting it done, the negative emotions that are going to come with that, but really it's just like, if that's the case, then I better buckle down and find a way to get it done. Just really what I think of. Yeah.
Do it or find a way to do it. I like that, dude. Is that a quote for something or is that yours?
No, that's not a quote. I just said that.
Okay, well, just quote it now, dude. I'm quoting it now. It's from Zach here.
There you go.
Yeah, I actually like that. I'm not even trying to blow smoke up your ass. I like that a lot. Do it or find a way. That's cool. Sweet, dude. So it's probably safe to say that maybe this is a need right now, not just a want or some kind of thing that you're looking at. You've been stuck for a while, so it's probably a need right now. Is that safe to say, dude?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, dude. Well, I just want to make sure that we're not stuck for any more than we have to be. So here's what I think based off of everything that you've told me so far. So I think the accountability, number one, I think that'll be the biggest, what do you want to call it? The biggest factor for all of this, because, you're surrounded by all the nice foods, the donuts, especially at work. And so if we were able to, because I'm not the kind of guy that's like, we can't eat donuts, we can't eat chips, we can't go out, because I don't believe in that. I think the problem is I don't believe in good foods, bad foods. I believe in wrong amounts, too much, too little.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
I always give the example as well of mouthwash. Like if you're swishing mouthwash, you accidentally swallow a little bit, like nothing happens. But if you just drink a whole bottle, you probably die. So it's always in the amount. And the problem with like foods and stuff is that it's never, you don't get that same consequence. Like if you have one donut, it's not like you die. So it's like, well, I can have 10, I'm still going to be okay. Those health concerns just don't come up for another however long. But anyway, So I think the accountability is huge. And I think finding a way to incorporate the the training, so where you can stick to it, and it's nothing that's crazy for your ankle or your foot. I think, honestly, dude, I think just those two things, if we just nailed those, I think that the 30-pound goal would be very achievable. And I think usually the programs start at 6 months. So I think that'd be very doable to get you set up on that. And so does that all make sense before I move on?
Yeah, man. I'll be curious to hear the training side of it for sure. I'm open to it. It depends on what kind of training you're looking at, because a lot of programs I've seen or worked with, because I used to be a heavy, I used to go to the gym a lot, and was trying to push a lot of weight, and with the training I wanted to incorporate, like obviously I'm looking to like lean out, and you just want to, I don't know if build muscle is the right term, but like keep your muscle, I guess you could say.
Yeah, just maintain.
But I'm more focused on like dropping the weight. And so we can chat about it for sure.
Okay, cool. Based on this phone call, that's just what I think. I mean, maybe because what happens after this, if you decide to move forward, is I send you a whole questionnaire, and that goes over everything. You could argue that it's too detailed, but it gives me everything I need to know to make you a plan. But I'll talk to you about that in just a second. So, sweet, dude. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm just curious, how committed would you say you are to accomplishing these goals and making a change?
I'd probably give myself, I always ask a similar question, and I always tell people you can't say 7 because everyone says 7, but I'd probably say 7.
A 7?
So,
yeah. Okay.
Everyone says 7, but anyways, yeah.
Well, I got to be honest, dude. I mean, I don't know what you say when someone says 7, but 7 is kind of an average number. So I'm just curious why a 7. I mean, equally, why not a 4? Why not a 10? Why not a 1?
Yeah, man. No, that's a good question. It's not lower because I'm motivated to do it, but it's not higher because I have other priorities too.
Yeah. You mean like being a dad?
Being a dad,
just
providing for my family. Yeah, just like you're joking, but that's exactly what I had in my head.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm in a weird spot in my career, man, where I do spend a lot of time working, and the rest of the time goes to my family. So when we do work out with my wife, it's when the kids are napping or when one baby's napping, or later at night or in the morning. And so but my family time, like when I get home from work, like takes priority over going to the gym. And so I got to find another way to tweak it, but that's why it's not at a 10 because there's other things that are priority over it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you being honest instead of saying like, oh, I'm a 10, I'll make this happen. And then we get going and it's like, oh, sorry, I can't do it, So I appreciate the honesty for sure. That's cool, dude. I respect that a lot. Would you say you're a family man then, or you just the limited time that you have, you just spend it with them? I mean, rightfully so. I think that's cool. All right, cool, dude.
No, of course. Here, I got you, Shelley. Here, come here, button. Sorry, man.
Cool, dude. Well,
drive safe. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I was like, dude, I'm at home. What do you mean? Cool. Well, anyway, dude, at the start of the call, if you remember, I mentioned I'd let you know if I could help, and I believe I can. I'm 100%. But I want to go over the training with you because, to be honest, what you're talking about makes me feel like I just want to make sure this is a good fit for you, because I'm not going to try to get you into a program that's not right for you. I mean, if this doesn't work, I do have some people in mind that might be able to help, but sure. I don't know. So either way, I want to help you out. So so I just call them the 4 pillars of the program. So I'm just going to go over each one, kind of skim it, but I'll dive deep if you have any questions. So does that make sense? Is that cool?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so with the 4 pillars, I have the training, the nutrition, the accountability, and then the mindset. And so they are as follows. So the pillar 1, the nutrition and diet, is so I'm not huge on meal plans, but if you do need one, I'm able to do that for you. Keep in mind, I'm not a what do they call it? A licensed nutritionist. Like, I'm certified, but I'm not the full blown, so I just want to be clear there. But it's pretty much just based on your caloric needs, your macros, stuff like that. The way that I teach everything is all macro based. But again, if you need a meal plan, I can totally help you out with that. But something, I don't even know what I would call it, but I try to teach people how to create their own meal plans in a way to where they make the meal plan And then when they tweak it, it's almost like they have a second meal plan because it's slightly different. And then when they keep tweaking it and keep replacing foods and stuff like that, then by the end of, we'll just say 6 months, they have, I don't know, like 10 different meal plans that they can draw off of that's specific to them. And then they made it themselves. So it sounds like homework. It sounds like a lot to do, but I promise it's so cool.
Sure.
And you get to keep that with you forever. I mean, everything you learn, hopefully you just take with you forever and you know, implement it in your life. But anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm also working on this thing. It's called like a nutrition ladder. So wherever you're at, I want to meet you on that ladder. And then rather than me being, for example, I don't know, let's say I'm on level 10, you're on level 1. I'm not going to meet you at level 5 because that's in the middle. I'm going to meet you at level 1, but I'm going to try to bring you to level 10 so that way you can be where you ought to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Cool. And then pillar 2 would be the workouts and training. So how that works is I have this app. You log into the app. It has, so actually everything is in the app. So like we don't text or email or I don't know, message on social media, but do any of that. It's all in one central place on the app. And the app has all your workouts, all the macros, the meal plans, all the different resources, like everything you could possibly need is in the app. So it's really cool. So you don't have to download 3 other apps and get Dropbox and, you know, so very cool. But anyway, the workouts, they're specific to you. So you're going to fill out this form. I go over everything, make a plan for you, and then I have you go over it. And if you think that something on there isn't going to work, or maybe I missed something, like let's say that you can't do, I don't know, let's say you broke your leg and I was so blind and I put squats on your plan. Like you would see that and you would say, hey dude, I can't do that, you know? Yeah. And then I would say, so I'd change it. So I'd make sure that the plan works for you. And you don't have to work out 6 days a week or even 5. I would say 4 is a good medium, but if you can't do that, like again, I want to meet you where you're at and we can, we'll go from there. So the workouts, they're specific to you. The workouts, no matter what, they're going to change, ever so slightly on a per week basis, which if you were heavy into lifting, I'm sure that you know what periodization is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I believe in that wholeheartedly. I mean, I think that's like progressive overload. And I've seen some other programs, they don't even touch that at all. And I think I don't know, that's so crazy to me that anyway, whole different thing. But the cool thing about the whole app thing with the workouts is when you miss a workout, I actually get a notification and I'll be able to like kind of kick you in the ass if you know, when I get the notification, it's going to say Zach missed a workout, you know? So I get to be like, oh, Zach, what's up, dude? You know? And then, so there's that accountability as well. So do you have any questions on that?
No questions.
Cool, dude. And then the weekly, or the pillar 3 would be the daily and weekly accountability. So this is, like I'm kind of pounding my chest on this one because I think it's so cool, but I figured out a way to do accountability daily rather than just weekly. So a lot of coaches, they do check-ins once a week and then you fill out the form. Are you familiar with any of that at all by chance?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. So yeah, every week you fill out a form, you know, how was your week? How'd you do? How was your workouts? Yeah. So I do a similar thing. But I try to go more in depth with that to make sure that I understand how you're doing actually. Okay. But on the daily, there's a form and I've timed myself and I think 3 of my clients doing it to make sure that it takes less than what I say it does. So I say it takes less than 90 seconds to do, but every client that I've had, they do it in about 60. So it's 1 minute out of your day. That's it. And you don't type anything. It's just multiple choice. Like, did you work out today? Yes or no? Did you hit your protein? Yes or no? How much water did you drink? And then it has options. So it's very simple, but it tracks all that info for me so I can see how you're doing daily and then make more accurate adjustments when they need to be made. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. And then, I mean, I don't even want to say this, but I'm trying to do something monthly as well to where we go like deep dive, but I don't know. We'll get there. I don't want to like overload my plate, you know, but,
sure.
Yeah, whatever. So, and then the pillar 4, which is my most favorite, is the mental toughness part, which I think is so important. I think it's so overlooked because we talked about it on this call, dude. So it's a perfect example. But I believe that the core root of all problems in life arises from the lack of discipline in whatever area. Yeah. So, I mean, you can have the perfect diet, the perfect workout plan, brand new gym, no stress at all, the best genetics, but you're going to remain the same and where you're at if you don't use any of these tools or resources, you know, like if you had a home chef and he was the best and made the best food, but you didn't eat it, you ate McDonald's, then it doesn't really matter if you have a chef or not, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
So I have this thing. It's called the Blade, and it's something I came up with for myself. And it's just a framework that you implement into your life. You just pick some tasks to stick to for 30 days. Once you do that, you move on to the second one, or the second cycle. Sounds kind of lame when I talk about it just like this, but it's cooler. I have a whole ebook, and whether or not we move forward today, I'll send it to you for free, and you can just use that and implement it. But anyway.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And so, for example, I'm on Blade 2. It's my second cycle. I hate to say this out loud, but I failed the first cycle 11 times. So that sucks. But I mean, dude, once I completed, I felt like the biggest man ever. So anyway, that's something that we do as well. So we just have the mental toughness, the workouts, the accountability, and the nutrition. So do you have any questions about any of those 4 before I move on?
No questions on those.
Cool, dude. Awesome. So now I'm going to go over the investment of the program, so you have an idea of what this actually entails. So have you ever had an in-person personal trainer at Vasa or EOS or anything like that?
No, I know a few. I have some friends that do it, and I talked to Dan about doing something like that, but no, I've never had one myself. So.
Okay. I've actually never had one myself either, but one of my clients came from one, and he said that they charged $32 a session, which sounds fine, but if you're going 5 times a week, then that would be...
Adds up.
Yeah, adds. I mean, I don't think he was going 5, so we'll just give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll just say he went 4. So 4 times 30, that's 120, and for a month, that's almost 500. So 500 a month, that's... I think that's crazy, especially for in person, because they can't give you nutrition or anything like that. I don't know what they would do for accountability, because you got to show up on their schedule to do their workouts at their time, So maybe that's the accountability, but yeah, there's no nutrition. It's just that. And if it's $3,000 or $5,000 or whatever it is for 6 months, that's the cost of that. But the beauty with the Allegiant Fit program is that it's not $3,000 or $5,000. And you would still get the daily and weekly accountability, the nutrition, the communication. Oh, by the way, you can talk to me whenever. It's not like I can only talk to you on Saturday. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get all of that, and it's a upfront fee of $2,000. But since summer's rolling around the corner, I'm reducing that from $2,000 to $1,500 to 25% off discount. So it's about $500 savings. So that would bring the final cost for 6 months down to just $1,500. So how does that sound?
$1,500 over the course of 6 months, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's a commitment for sure, just because it's 6 months. So I don't know how I feel about it yet.
You don't know how you feel about it? Is that what you said?
I have to process it a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it that it's 6 months, or is it that is it the price, or is it something else?
It's the price up front.
Price up front. Okay, totally understand, dude. So it's just a $1,500. That, like, if you were to do that right now, that's like, ooh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, I totally understand, dude. Well, I don't want finances to be the reason why you don't get started on this journey. So what would make it more manageable for you? Would it be easier if it was split up into 2 payments or something like that? Or what would that be for you?
So 6 months,
so that averages out to $250 a month if you did that.
Yeah. So the way my job works is I do get monthly commission. A lot of that goes to just like our livelihood, and then I get pretty fat quarterly bonuses.
Oh,
which
cool.
is like the bulk of my pay. It's kind of how my pay works. So for example, I just got paid out that quarterly bonus last month. So, and we're pretty structured with our finances.
Oh, good for you. Yeah.
And so it's just, like finding that, and even like looking at stuff. I'm proud of myself. I've been able to get to a spot where my wife doesn't have to work as much anymore, so she's been able to take a step back. But with that, like, obviously, we're making less money. Yeah.
So, well, that's a big flex though, dude, to make it so your wife doesn't have to work. That's cool, dude.
No, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, no, it's been a goal of ours for sure to have her. Like, she's a nurse, so she wants, to keep her license current and work at least, a little bit. But she wants to be home with the kids for the majority of her time and doesn't want to have to put them in daycare, and to each their own, but that's what she wants to do. So I'm happy I've been able to do that. But with that said, like we literally just had like a big, we like divvying up that quarterly bonus basically. And so I'm like scratching my head trying to think like, okay, can I pull off squeezing in like another 1,500 to make it work?
Yeah, of course. So are you still trying to do the 1,500 all at once? Is that what you're talking about right now?
Or even breaking it up, man. Like, because the last thing I want to do is put on a credit card, or
100%.
Or dip into like we have like an emergency savings account. I don't know if I necessarily want to dip into that too. We're about to pay off her car, which will be super sick, and it'll free up about like $450 a month.
Dude, that is so sick. Congrats again. Dude, I'm just full of congratulations for you. This is so cool.
Thank you, man. But like, we're super amped to like get that money, like to play a little defense financially and like get that money back in our pocket. And so I don't know how fiscally responsible it is for me to like turn around and be like, yo,
yeah,
we're getting that money back, and let me dip into this and do, I don't know, whether it's 2 payments or 3 payments, whatever the hell it would be. Like, that's where I'm sitting. That's how I feel about it. So that's why I say I was like, I just need to process it a little bit. But
yeah. Dude, totally makes sense. Are you familiar with Affirm? Do you know what that is?
The firm?
It's called Affirm, AFFIRM, Affirm.
Oh, Affirm. No, I'm not. No.
So I don't know if I would say I'm affiliated with them, but I use a payment processor. It's called Stripe. I'm sure you're familiar with that. So they have this option. It's called Affirm. And what you're able to do is you're able to split the whatever the payment is of whatever you're buying with literally any service into 6 installments, interest free. And I think they add on $50, but that's over the course of 6 months. So it's like $8 or something like that. So it'd be $258 a month, and that you can go through that if that's something that would work better for you. So it wouldn't be the $1,500 up front. It would be $258 monthly, and that would allow you to work on and get used. By the time we get off this phone call, you'd be in the app, just so you have an idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Would that work or?
Probably not, man. Now I know, and you planted the seed at the beginning of the call, which like shout out to you. You're like me. I always tell people I can do yeses, I can do nos, but I can't do maybes.
Yeah.
And so in the world of my sales is a little bit different, just because it's B2B, so it's like sales cycles can be dragged out a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, man, I understand you wanted an answer. I don't know if I've got one for you. If I had to answer right off the gate, I'd probably say no, and it might make more sense once we do get our car paid off, which we'd be looking at the next 2 months, hopefully when my next quarterly bonus rolls around.
Okay.
How well I do. But that's kind of where I'm sitting.
Cool, dude. Well, I totally appreciate your honesty, and I don't even want to like try to push on you because, I mean, first of all, I don't know what it's like to be a dad or to even have all that stuff, but I don't know. Maybe it's like the I don't know, the empathetic side of me, but like I don't even want to try to. I want you to succeed with your car, dude. That's so fucking sick. I want you to do all these things. So. If this is something you want to move forward with in the next 2 months when you get that paid off, dude, I'll always be here. So you can move forward, you can choose someone else, but I'm here if you need to, if you want to move forward with this. So.
No, I appreciate that, man. In full transparency, I had a call. This was years ago too, man. I even forgot his last. Oh, Sanders, Dan Sanders.
Oh,
Sanders.
Dude, yeah, I know him. Okay.
Do you know Dan? Yeah, you probably, if you're in that community, I'm sure you've seen him around. I had a call with Dan. I know his little brother Brian. And this was when we were in our townhouse, dude. So this is probably 3-4 years ago.
Are you about to tell me how much he charges? Because he told me the same.
I can't remember how much he charges, man. It was expensive for sure. And he took it fine. Like when I told him no. Yeah. And he was just like, well, what are you going to do to hit your goals without me? And I was like, well, I'll find a way, dude. But like, it didn't, I have no hard feelings against him, dude. But like, I didn't want to go back to him after that experience.
Yeah.
With you, dude, I appreciate I can appreciate your, I don't know if response is the right word or just like your demeanor about the whole thing. So like, yeah, dude, I definitely want to, like, this is something I want to do. And what it might come down to is like every month I get a commission, I'm setting aside that money.
Okay, cool.
We're trying to. And so that in 2 or 3 months time, I just have the money like set aside. Right. So yeah, dude, if I really didn't feel like, I'm a pretty straight shooter, man. If I really didn't like it or didn't like you, I would tell you that we'd go our separate ways. But no, I think this is something we can make work, man. So yeah, give me a couple months to get my ducks in a row. I think we can make it happen. So
cool, dude. Well, I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Anyways, good luck, dude. I'll see what I can do, and yeah, we'll be in touch, man.
Cool, we'll do. Also, I'm gonna send you that ebook, that PDF of the blade. You can do it with whatever you want with it. But you want me to email it to you? Do you want me to send over Facebook? What's a good spot for it?
Yeah, man, you can email it would be good.
Cool. I've got your email right here, just to make sure. Let's see. Let me pull it up. Zach Dixon, 1996. Is that right? At Gmail.
Yep.
Cool, dude. Well, I'll send it over, and then you'll have that. And I do ask that you do keep me in the loop with how you're doing with it. I want you to start the blade. It's cool. You pick whatever task you want to do. Just if you choose to start it, just keep me in the loop because I want to see how you do. I'm so pumped up about this stuff.
Okay, yeah, for sure, man. We'll be in touch on it for sure.
Cool. Well, sounds good, dude. Thanks again for your time, and good luck with everything, dude.
Hey, you too, man. We'll be in touch. See ya.
All right, bye-bye. Well, that sucks, dude. I don't know how to overcome objections, but part of me felt like I should have backed off because he was very transparent with me. And what am I going to do? Because I'm looking at I need the objections that I have saved here. I need to think about it. See, what's going through my head is he's in sales, so he knows some of these lines because he follows the same people. He knows who Andy Elliott is. So if I were to throw that, I don't know. That's just what goes through my mind. So I'm looking at I need to talk to my wife. I don't have the money. I guess I could have pushed more on the health concerns there. Fuck me, dude. I don't know where he seems like a great guy, dude. He seems so nice. I don't want to push on it. And that very end there, that was me being for real. I didn't want to push on it. I don't want to push on it. I got to post on social media 2 more times today. It's 6 o'clock. Fuck sakes. Yeah, I posted once today. God damn it, dude. I'm so behind on that. Anyway, so I'd like to think that I made the right call here, not pushing. But, so let's focus on the wins here, Bryson. Come on. First time ever pitching 6 months. First time ever saying that much money out loud. And I feel like he received it well. So that's cool. That's a win for me. He didn't say, ooh, what the fuck? He said, yeah, I can 250. I don't know. So, yeah, that's a win for sure. That even saying that out loud. I mean, probably 12 times during this call, so I'm facing my laptop and my monitors. I've got my desk here, and I'm looking out the window when I say something that I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, and I make the face like, with my molars showing, but my front teeth not. You know what I mean? That face, and because sometimes or some of the time when I was reading the script here, I'm like, what the fuck am I even saying? I just didn't follow. I didn't follow what I was trying to read that well, apparently. And so that caused me to lose where I'm at a little bit. But yeah, I didn't get the sale. And I'm just going to be straight up because I think this is kind of funny for the documentation here. Well, when he said gout, I pulled all of that out of my asshole. I don't know what gout is. I Googled gout and I figured it out. So I literally typed in gout and it says gout is a form of inflammatory arthritis caused by a buildup of uric acids in the joints, and then it has photos of the feet. And so by typing 4 letters and clicking enter, I was able to learn instantly what the fuck he was talking about. And I don't think anybody in my family does. Could be very wrong. But anyway, so that's funny. I feel good that I mustered up the courage to hop on this call with somebody who also knows sales. So that's cool. That's a good feeling. So anyway, I mean, maybe this is me just, you know what, guys, this is me speaking from the heart. That was a fucking win, if you ask me, because that's the second time I've ever mustered up the courage to do something like this. And it might seem so fucking stupid or so easy for someone to do. But for me, dude, I don't know what it is, but it takes so much for me to get the confidence to do these things. And for this reason, it makes me feel like I'm not even qualified to do half this shit. Because if I'm supposed to be the authority, I'm supposed to be the expert, and I don't even know certain small things, and if I can't even get on the phone and talk to somebody, what the fuck makes me qualified to do any of this, you know? And that really weighs on me. And, you know, I mean, I looked at this guy's profile, and I was like, dude, he's tall, he's got kids, he's got a family, and seems like he's doing well for himself. And to be 100% honest, what goes through my head is like, dude, I'm white as shit. I got a weird haircut, you know, my teeth are weird, my nose is so big, and I got weird posture because my shoulder's higher than the other one, and I can't see that well, and when I smile, it looks funny, and no one's gonna take me seriously. I look like a kid. Just straight up, that's what goes through my head, because that is how insecure I am of so much shit. I might seem like I'm confident or whatever, but there's a reason why it took me 150 podcasts to, or what? Well, 100 podcast episodes to say anything to anybody, and then I kept it a secret at work because I didn't want anybody to know. And nobody even gives a fuck, you know? So for me to even for me to call him once and then to not bail out there, and then to call him back, and then for him to say, just missed ya, and then for him to call me, and then for me to answer, that's a win. And I hate even thinking about that, because like, no, it's not. We just fucking tap the green button, and that's it. So for me to do that, that's a win. For me to go through the whole phone call and sales script, that's a win. Oh my Lord, dude. I'm just so hard on myself, and I lack confidence 100%. And I don't know, man. So there's some heart to heart for you right there. I feel great now that it's over with. I would like to do another one because I want to get better at this. So I think what I ought to do is schedule role plays and do role plays with people so I can learn. But I don't know. To further add to this, I said I was committing to doing 1 unit of the mastermind that I'm in per day, and then implementing it. And I've done that once. I think that was a week ago. So there's a fail there. I also did not go to the store and grocery shop and meal prep, so I'm behind on that. So I don't have food, so I've been going to Beto's for lunch. Tastes good, makes you feel like shit mentally. And there's that. And then I didn't go to the gym today because I wanted to prep for this call. And also, I was nervous. Also, I wore my slides today for some reason, so I wasn't about to go to the gym in slides, because I just made a post that says if you wear these to the gym, you wear pajamas. You also wear pajamas. So right here. Jim, I promise that you also wear pajamas. A lot of people think that video has 180 views. So I don't know, man. So, I don't want anybody to hear this and feel bad or want to reach out and, comfort me or whatever. Because I'm just communicating how I feel inside for the sake of the documentation. That is this podcast. So, because I would want to know if Alex Hormozy was feeling this way when he first started doing his gym sales, or if Andy Frisella felt this way when he got rejected for not being able to sell his $30 fish oil supplement or something like that, or when David Goggins took his job up with the pest control bullshit, or when Joe Rogan got rejected from auditioning for Fear Factor or whatever. I don't even know if that's true or not. But when Bezos was starting up Amazon, or when I would want to hear those things and see those things. So hopefully that's exactly what this is doing, because I just poured my heart out right there. That's truthfully how I feel inside. And honestly, what comes next after that thought is I need to do 75 hard again. I sounds so dumb to want to feel like I need to do this program again to get my shit together again, I guess. Because it does take extra time out of my day. And to be fair, it would only be about an hour of my day. Less than an hour. It'd be 45. If I were to go to work and then do my outdoor workout right after work, and then, if I were to go to work, fuck am I saying? If I were to go to work and then hit the gym right after, and let's say my workout ends at 4, I can't start my outdoor workout until 7, which means I wouldn't finish my outdoor workout if I started it at 7 until 7:45, which means I probably would have to be so extremely strict with my time so I could go to bed on time, because I would need to go to bed at 8. So there's that. So truth be told, it would only add 45 minutes per day to my day, or of tasks, I should say. But it would get me... Let's see, what time is the sunset now that it's getting nicer? What time does sunset in Utah? Sunsets in Utah at 7:54. So that's funny. I'm just talking about how I'd have to finish it by that time anyway. So, because honestly, I feel like my neighborhood is fine, but I don't know it that well. I don't know anything about my neighborhood. I just know that the houses are very old. It's kind of run down. And then I'm just on the corner in these brand new townhomes. So it's whatever. But it wasn't like when I was doing 75 Hard the first time, where I lived in essentially a brand new neighborhood. I mean, it's been there for years, but it was a nice neighborhood. I was living with my uncle and aunt. And to get an idea, I think all those houses are roughly $1 million. And they're nicer. They got the 6-car garage or whatever it is, the 5-car, whatever it is. And so that's the neighborhood. I also drove it for FedEx, so I knew everything about the neighborhood. So when I would do my outdoor cardio, I was fine. There was not a concern at all, because the last thing I want is to go out, do my cardio, and get approached by some guy, and he's like, "Yo, dude, give me your phone," or "Give me your," I don't know. Because truthfully, I don't want to even get close to any kind of altercation like that over dumb shit. I don't want to have to, put my life on the line for some crazy motherfucker who wants my phone. Also, don't want to give him my phone. So, don't even want to be presented with the opportunity. And to be honest, I feel like a pussy because I don't even want to face that. But the other part of me is like, no, be smart, bro. Like if you're going to go out in this neighborhood when it's pitch black outside, like expect some shit to happen. Otherwise, you're going to be caught off guard and then you're really going to be fucked. So, I don't know. That's just me playing it safe, I guess. That's also very random. It's also one thing I've noticed about me, especially, I think I noticed this when I moved out the first time to St. George. When did I notice this? I don't know when I noticed it, but when I reflect, I realize that I'm a very paranoid person, but paranoid in a way that probably saves me a lot, And it's always better to be safe rather than to be sorry, And this is going to sound crazy. This is going to make me sound like a fucking crazy person. Fully understand this. However, I live alone, obviously. Where I live specifically, I feel fine. But I always lock the door when I go to sleep. And when I go to shower in the morning, I lock the door. And it's only when I go to sleep and only when I take a shower. And the reason for that is because my whole AC system, the vents in my house, they heat up and then they expand and they goes boom. And I'm sure you've heard it on the podcast. I talked about it hundreds of episodes ago, probably 100 episodes ago, probably 200 episodes ago. And it'll go boom. And it is so fucking loud. So loud that when it happens at night, I'm like, dude, is somebody breaking into my house right now? And obviously they're not. But I'm like, one of these times, it is going to be someone breaking in. But my mind is going to say, oh, no, that's the vent. And then in 5 minutes, the guy breaks in. Maybe he's a murderer. I don't know. Call me paranoid. Call me fucking creeped out, scared, whatever. I don't care. That's literally what goes through my mind always. It's like the vent cried wolf, So one day it's going to be a real person in here who's going to fuck up my shit because I just blew it off as, it's just my vent. But it's really somebody coming into my house. So I fully understand that makes me sound like a crazy person or very paranoid. But it wouldn't make me sound like a crazy person or paranoid. It would make me seem like a smart man or very, very lucky or very, very prepared if someone broke in and they couldn't get into my house or if they couldn't get into my room or whatever because it was locked. That would make me seem like what a fucking genius. He was prepared. But if it doesn't happen, I seem like a crazy person. 100%. So with that being said, that's that. So I don't know how we got off onto that. It's very random. But anyway, I lack a lot of confidence. So I'm trying to get at. And so the fact that I even got on this call, that's a win for me. I was taking notes and I just didn't hit the pain points. I ran through it almost robotically. feel like I didn't slow down the speech. Felt like when he would respond to what I was saying and he says, "Oh, what do you mean?" I just had no idea. I was like, "Oh, what the fuck? Do you not know what I mean? What I'm trying to..." Fumbled that. So I just need more reps. I just need more practice. And it's funny because I've done the role play 150 times. I don't know. But not with a real person. So maybe that's where I need to change course. Maybe the role plays that I do from here on out need to be with real people. So maybe I just need to schedule time to role play and do that with a real person. So, truthfully speaking, what goes through my head now is I don't have time. What do you mean I don't have time? I can schedule a role play right now in the next 30 minutes, get on the call with somebody at 6:30, do it for a half hour, peace out, and go on about my day, and it'll only be 7. But honestly, what I want to do now is I'm gonna actually start getting ready for bed so that I will go to bed on time. Because I'm so tired of being tired. And I know a lot of it now has less to do with sleep and more to do with my diet and training and all this stuff. Because if I'm not eating well and if I'm not training well, if I'm feeling like shit mentally and I'm stressed because I'm not putting in the work that I know I can be, then that just eats up my mental bandwidth. So anyway, I think I'm done here. I think I'm done talking. So I got a lot of work to do, but it was a win for me to do this. And I'm just thankful that I didn't bail out. Now that I did it, I'm thankful that I didn't bitch out because I'd be feeling like shit now. So anyway, that's the show, guys. Appreciate you listening. I know this is a long one. Probably like the top 10 longest shows in one take, and I've added stuff for the other phone calls with Mina and the team and stuff like that. But yeah, just single shot, just me. But anyway, that's the show. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
That's it for today. If you got some sort of value or you were entertained, please consider leaving a rating on the platform that you're listening on. It helps a ton. If you are looking for a more polished version of this show, you can check out the Allegiant Excellence podcast, where I go deep into mindset, discipline, fitness, and personal development as a man. And don't forget to check out the links below and read the description. There are sometimes things written there that didn't quite make it on the episode. So thank you so much for your ongoing support and a guy that has massive ambition but nothing to show for it quite yet. And as always, thank you for taking time out of your day to listen and support. I'll see you tomorrow.